Stiff hips can be a huge inconvenience. You have limited range of motion, impaired balance, joint pain from your knees, ankles, dormant glutes, low back pain, and even more. But all of these negatives can be properly addressed and safely corrected with these 5 simple exercises that will not only reverse stiff hips, improve your overall movement, and bring joy back into your life. Let's talk about these 5 simple hip exercises. And that very first one on the list is going to be the resting squat. Some people call this the primal squat, deep squat, Asian squat, and the most common and popular term you'll hear very often, the Asian squat. This is basically a deep squat position, but it doesn't require much energy. Hence why I call it the resting squat. The resting squat offers tremendous benefits, such as improved hip mobility, knee and ankle flexibility, help to relieve lower back stiffness, pain, which is mainly attributed to prolonged sitting. It also helps to align the spinal cord as well. It's a super underrated position, hence why I like to classify it as a simple hip exercise. This is something that you can just jump into. Now, you're not gonna get this deep right away, especially if you have super tight hips, but like anything in life, we have the capacity to improve it. You can start off with something as simple as just raising your feet. This helps takes the tension off of your ankles, because more often than not having the capacity to get deep into that resting squat is largely attributed to the fact that you have poor ankle mobility and ankle stiffness. So elevating your feet helps to minimize that tension you may feel in dorsiflexion of your ankles. So keep your feet elevated, and then you can also get into the resting squat just by simply holding on to something. This also helps to guide you deeper into that resting squat position. Just also make sure you guys try to keep your back as straight as possible. And remember, the resting squat is a skill. So the more you practice, the more you're gonna become acquainted with this position, and over time, you're gonna get better at it. And pretty soon, the resting squat won't feel so much like a chore. It will actually feel like a resting position. Now guys, the next position we're gonna jump into, which is probably one of my favorites, and that is the Seiza position. Now, the Seiza position is notorious throughout Japan. It's actually considered to have originated in Japan, used by the samurai, from council meetings to tea ceremonies and more. Now, the Seiza position stretches out your hips, primarily being the hip flexors, also your shins, ankles, knees. Out of every single exercise on this list, the Seiza position is the one I use the most frequently. I use this because my ankles and my shins get fairly tight, either from me sitting a lot or training, doing sprints or any type of explosive movements. I feel like my ankles get pretty tight. And especially since I've gotten older, I felt like my ankles they gotten tighter in general. So I've been finding that the Seiza position really helps to relieve that tightness in my shins and my ankles. Now, if the Seiza position is fairly difficult to get into, because this could be a lot of strain on your ankles, on your shins, and on your knees, that's totally normal. We can still get into a pretty decent Seiza position with the help of assistance. A yoga block. So what we can do, guys, is this. Place that yoga block right underneath our bunda, and then right there, that tension that you may feel around your ankles and your shins and maybe even your knees, we're able to greatly minimize that tension you may feel. So using some form of elevation will help you guys get into a pretty decent Seiza position without trying to force your body into a regular Seiza position without any assistance. And so from here, guys, you just simply hold this for time throughout the day. And as you guys get better and better into this position, you'll find that removing that yoga block is nothing. And now you're able to fully maximize the benefit of the Seiza position. I'll tell you guys, every single morning I wake up, I get into this position because I just feel so much relief in my ankles. But on to the next exercise, and that we're still gonna remain seated on the floor, and that is just sitting cross-legged. Like old school, you know what I mean? Like as kids. You know how it was when we would watch movies in grade school and we would all gather around a television and we would sit cross-legged like it was nothing. These days, being an adult, it's like pulling tooth and nails to get into this position for many people because they struggle. And this position is really helpful, guys, to relieve that tension in your hips, groin, low back. I mean, something as simple as this just 5, 10, 20 minutes a day will drastically improve the flexibility in your hips. Sitting cross-legged really helps to engage your piriformis. And the piriformis, if you sit a lot on chairs, stools, whatever it may be, your glutes remain dormant. And so that piriformis at that point isn't getting the engagement that it needs. So we need to really stretch it out and make it stronger. And that's why I really enjoy sitting cross-legged, because you engage the piriformis, your IT band, you're growing, you have better core engagement, because now I'm not using some type of backrest to help support my back. So now I'm forcing my posterior chain to put in more work, my abdominals to also make sure that everything is running smoothly. You're taking pressure off of your tailbone. The seated cross-leg position is a game changer. So instead of just sitting on your chair for like 2, 3, 4 hours, I mean, we can offset that abuse just by getting into this position and just sit here 10, 15, 20 minutes. Read a book, play the video game. I know from time to time I like to play my Nintendo Switch just in a seated position. This has wonderful benefits. And like the Seiza position, if this is difficult to get into, then we use assistance. All we do is sit on the yoga block, and again, I feel this feels a whole lot easier, and I prefer just sitting on the floor. But for you guys that may struggle to sit cross-legged on the floor, use elevation. And as you guys get stronger, then that's when you remove the yoga block. And if you feel like it's too much on your back, go ahead and do this. We're gonna take that yoga block, and now we're gonna sit with some back support, and maybe we might hold this position for like 3 minutes or so. And then you come off the wall onto the yoga block, hold that and switch around things. Like maybe you might go right here. Maybe you might go a little like this. The whole point of this, guys, is to really reduce that stress that is placed on our hips, our growing. And again, you feel like, hey, I could sit here for a minute, 2 minutes. Do that. Just play around with it. It doesn't have to be like Spence said, I need to sit in this position for 10 minutes. That's exactly what I'm going to do. No. Listen to your body. Move around. This position really is a game changer, and it's something I've been implementing in my daily routine, especially these last couple of months. And I feel like a kid again. I think that's one of the greatest things, to be able to just sit. The biggest reason why your hips and your youthfulness goes away is not because you age, but it's because your mindset. We have to get back into those kid-like positions and just explore and have fun. So just step away from the couch or the chair and just sit like this. Trust me, your body's gonna thank you. And the fourth exercise I wanna talk about is the horse stance. We talk a whole lot about the horse stance, the benefits of it, and why it should be included in your weekly training regimen. People, don't sleep on a horse stance. It looks very simple, but when you do like 3 sets of just 30 seconds, rest time 30 to 45 seconds, you will feel this exercise. This is a isometric exercise that's gonna build strength in your entire lower body, but also your lower back. This exercise will tremendously improve your hip strength. And the main reason why I chose the horse stance for this particular video is because it's really, really simple. Doesn't involve a whole lot at play. And if you struggle with getting as deep in this horse stance, you can start off with like a partial horse stance. That's totally fine. As you guys get stronger, you're gonna get deeper and deeper until you get to the point where you're getting really deep like this. And just make sure you guys keep your back straight as possible. Squeeze your glutes. Make sure you also push your knees out. This is going to intensify the horse stance that much more. You don't need a lot of time in the horse stance in order to reap the benefits. Start off with something like 3 sets, 20 seconds, work up to 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 60, then add weight into the equation. Your legs is gonna be shaking, but I can assure you guys, it's gonna benefit your hips that much more. That's why the horse stance is included on this list. Okay guys, so we are down to our last exercise, and that is gonna be the 90-90 position, or you could just refer this to as the modified pigeon pose, okay? So what you're gonna do, guys, is just get into this position right here, hence 90 degrees, or again, modified pigeon. And this is a great exercise to really relieve tightness in your piriformis, your glutes. I mean, you can even do things like this, like what we do on some of my mobility training videos, where we do a modified pigeon pose press. and press up. You know what I mean? Trying to keep your back extended, really stretch out your piriformis, engage your lower back, engage your glutes. Boom. You can just switch sides like this, 90 degrees or 90-90 transfers. Again, you could play around with this position, but I really like it because it really helps to open up your hips. And it's an exercise you can do every single day. Again, if you sit a lot, you stand, utilize the modified pigeon or the 90-90 position to relieve that tightness, because glutes get really tight and we want to make sure that our glutes are nice and loose, or should I say our hips. Now, of course, if it's too difficult for you to get into this position, you can bring your feet closer to your body's midline like this, and you can also do the press like that. But you know, find where you feel most comfortable at. You want a little bit of uncomfort, but not too much where it hurts, just a little bit, and then slowly just open up. And again, you can even do something like this where you just hold this position for time. Okay, so the 90-90 position, or again the modified pigeon pose, is a great exercise to really relieve tightness in your glutes, your hips, since those spots get really tight. But there you go, guys. Those are my 5 simple hip exercises you should do every single day to reverse stiff hips. All right, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Most importantly, make sure you guys are properly subscribed. I'll see y'all next video. Peace and mad love as always. And now, boom, we out, baby.